I went on to have a second daughter 18 months later in St. Patrick's on the Navan Road. I encountered a woman who was 37. Her name was Angela. And she was 37, but she had the mental capacity of a 7-year-old. She was on her 4th pregnancy. Nobody asked in the convent, how did this happen? And word came back that Angela had had a visit from her elderly mother on a Sunday, and Angela went to go to the bathroom, and she gave birth to her baby on the toilet. She wouldn't know what labour was. Angela was returned to St. Pat's without an infant. We don't know whether that infant survived. And I'll tell you a little bit about Angela. She used to stand with us in the night time after the nuns were gone to bed, and we'd go out to the toilet to have a cigarette. We weren't supposed to do it, but at least we were breaking the rules somewhere. Angela would come out and join us some of those nights, and she would tell us about the prizes that she won for acting as the Plum Fairy in school plays. And she would perform the Plum Fairy ballet dancing for us. This is a 37-year-old woman with the mental capacity of a 7-year-old pregnant on her 4th pregnancy. Now, I met Minister Flanagan in 2014 before the terms of reference of the Commission of Inquiry were established. This was an issue I raised with him. And I'm not the only one that witnessed this. There are 65 mothers in the group, in Irish First Mothers. And almost every one of us have stories to tell that are similar to that and similar to poor Grace's story. That's why I cry. Because of those women. Because of the mothers that came back to Dunne after their babies been taken from them in Holles St Hospital. And the tears and the sadness and the numbness because we were put into shock. I think of the women in St. Patrick's who were on the, when they were delivered to St. Patrick's, and you'd hear the sobbing late at night of those women and those young girls, and we'd go around to see if we find who was crying so we could comfort them. I think of the mothers, the young mothers, whether they were engaged to be married or not, whether the fathers of their child, wanted to take responsibility and still cared for his girlfriend. Those mothers had their babies ripped from their arms. And that's what brings me such grief. And now I realise that, I was there in 1975. And I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked to the core that up to the 90s, this was still being done. We're not talking about ancient history here. We're talking about young women today still walking around in their 40s who are suffering the same trauma, the same shame. For far too long, we've been kept silent. We're not behind the convent doors anymore, but my personal experience of trying to engage with the Commission is that it's all the same secrecy. It's the hushed voices. It's the why do you want to give that evidence in public because, what about other people? It's our story. We are the ones who lived the experience, who were incarcerated in the convents. I'm so bold as to call them concentration camps. And Irish First Mothers have made a request to the Attorney General in relation to looking at all of this issue on the basis of genocide. And I've told my story today. It's what I went through, but it's what thousands of other women went through. It's not about me. It's about all of us. But I'm calling on transparency, openness, and away with the secretiveness. We're not gagged anymore. We did nothing wrong. We were not sinners or fallen women. We're human, and we deserve our voices to be heard.